This is my first attempt at something like this, though I doubt that it'll be my last. I hope that you will forgive any blurriness in the photos. I really just felt I could not stop and ask to take pictures of someone in their poverty. I also hope that you will forgive any errors that I make in speaking. I will learn and I will improve, but I appreciate that you're viewing. Thank you.
My passion is educating people about life on Pine Ridge Reservation. What started as a vacation to South Dakota unexpectedly became what will be for me a lifelong crusade to raise the awareness of the American people about living conditions on the Pine Ridge Reservation. I don't live on Pine Ridge. I can't fix all the problems. I don't even know what the solutions are. But I can tell and show what I've seen and heard. So open your mind and your heart. Watch, listen, then tell someone else and ask them to do the same. Please, pass it on. What we've been looking at were scenes from that vacation. But now we're going to look at a map that shows the territories given to the Sioux tribe in the Treaty of Fort Laramie in 1868. As you can see, it's half of South Dakota, plus quite a bit of hunting grounds. But look now. See what's left. See what was taken for settlement, farming, all the good land. Let us look at Pine Ridge Reservation and see what it has in its 2 million acres with 50,000 residents. We started our first trip in Rapid City and traveled down South Dakota 44 into Kyle. Now that trip took 2 hours. Once we got to Kyle, we stayed and visited. But we have since taken trips along other roads. We've put on 950 miles in 5 days, and we were grateful it wasn't our own vehicle. If you'll see those roads with parallel lines, those are all unpaved. Most of the roads on the reservation are not paved, especially anything off of the main road. Pine Ridge is a beautiful place. This is the town of Kyle. It looks like a small town anywhere. But when you start to look at the whole thing, you realize that it's very isolated, that there's not much around, and you have to travel 2 hours to get somewhere. Look at the houses as they go by. Pause, because you may want to look at close-up. You may want to actually pay attention to the details. You may see boarded up windows or blankets hanging in windows for insulation. Most houses are not built up to standards or codes. No insulation, things like that. And South Dakota winters are cold. Most neighbors are quite a ways away. It is beautiful. And some are lucky and have well-kept homes because they aren't one of the nearly 80% who are unemployed. This is the town of Allen. We spent Christmas here one year. And as you can see, you've got a variety here too. There's some that are well kept and some that are having problems. But you have to look deeper. You have to look inside. Because even a well-kept home might have a secret, like a front door that has to be kept closed with a dish towel or it will blow open in the South Dakota wind. This was our Christmas dinner. It was delicious, but I think what we need to do is look past dinner at where it was served. Think of how many children wore that floor down, and how many still do. People here don't complain. They're grateful for what they have and they share it with their relatives. But sharing can take a toll on what you have. There's lots of mud because most things aren't paved. And that comes down to even public places like churches. The church is beautiful, but it needs repairs. And it doesn't have indoor plumbing. So if you go in the winter, be prepared to have a chili stop. Since we were there at Christmas, and that was the church we attended, we can vouch for that. This is one of the motels that are available. There were only 2. We stayed there. It was very nice. The college is across the street. And when you turn right out of the hotel, there you are, heading to Sharp's Corner down a roller coaster. You can also enter Pine Ridge from the south, from Nebraska. It's the town of White Clay. White Clay has 14 inhabitants and 4 businesses. And they sell 4 million cans of beer a year. Since the only population around is 2 miles away in Pine Ridge, the beauty can be deceiving. It hides the problems. It hides a lot. The Lakota love their horses. They were a part of their culture for a long time. The farming is done by farmers who have leased the land. The vehicles need a lot of help. Now I imagine you've heard the song about give me a home where the buffalo roam and the deer and the antelope play. I'm going to show you one of those, and then you can decide if it's what you want or not. Yes, mud again, because that's what happens. You get mud with just the slightest bit of rain. This is my friend's house. It's very small. It's only 4 rooms. One is basically the size of a bed. This is the kitchen. Now if you'll notice, the back door is boarded up. The plastic milk jug, it's there because there's no running water in the house. They have to cart water, and then they store it in that orange Gatorade jug. There's no heat either. The prior tenants destroyed the wood stove and nothing's been replaced. Just 2 electric heaters to heat the little house. No codes, as I said. And try as you might to keep it clean, it still doesn't give you much to live in, or are. Duct tape, as we all know, solves a multitude of problems, like holes in your wall from prior tenants. Plastic sheeting, it helps. It helps to keep the cold drafts out. Doesn't do much for the view, though. That white tank, that is a water storage tank they finally got after a year of waiting. The tribe supplies them, but it took a year. As you can see, lot of work. A fixer-upper, to be sure. That's the back door. So really, there's only one exit in this home. Vehicles you'll see in every yard. They're kept for parts when they don't run anymore, and because it costs too much to take them to a salvage yard. The nice car in the corner, that was the rental vehicle. Don't let it fool you. This is what happens when you get one of those deer that is playing, and it plays in front of your car. And this is the door lock. To you it looks like a shovel, but it really is the way that they would indicate. There's somebody living here, stay out. Now check out those numbers. $500 a month for rent. $700 for 3 months to heat that little place with 2 electric heaters. But they still have a roof over their head because they've been on the housing list for 10 years. Yeah, 10 years waiting for a home of their own. And it's not uncommon. Check out the details again. Pause again if you need to. Recycling isn't anything new to the residents on Pine Ridge. This is a travel trailer to the rest of us, but to someone it's a permanent home. And I'm sure it's not insulated. This is a lovely home. Some are lucky. Others, even when they have a lovely home like that, have to have 10, 12, up to 20 people living in one of those small houses because of the housing shortage. They could use 4,000 homes. Think about this land. It makes sense, doesn't it, that there's no jobs. It's not really farmable. What is farmable is leased out. There's so many problems. There's poor diet because you don't have the money. So there's diabetes. The horses again. The lifeblood of the Lakota people. They were a nomadic people. You and I can leave. We can watch this beautiful sunset and go home. But this is home to 50,000 people. And we need to improve those conditions. We need to make it better. I'm asking you to pass it along. I suspect I'll be doing more of this. And I hope that you'll pass all of them along so that this country sees what they're doing to some of our original owners, the original inhabitants.